Hello everybody and welcome to this episode of the MDI series. I will continue where I left off last time. The previous video is linked in the description below. So what I did in the meantime was I added a reference to my project, which is made using NuGet. And I have installed, next to YJ3 itself, I have installed the RibbonBar extension. Okay, and now when we open up the main window, we go to the toolbox and we see the YJ3 extensions, and there we have the RibbonBar. I put this down here and add some pages. Let's call this one Start. The page has a page group. Call this one, I don't know, say Edit. And the group has an item like this. And I want to open the child windows when clicking on one of these buttons. So let's call this one the white window. It has an image source which is set to which one should we take? Oh, there it is, white. We call this button white. We do the same for the red window. The red window gets the red icon and is called button red. Okay. I added too many, so this one would be green. Image source would be the green one, and we call this a button green. Okay, white, green, red. Okay, so now the ribbon is not visible yet. That's because probably, the size is too low. 48, there it is. Now it should have been visible already. Okay, here it is. So we have to do something when we click on one of these buttons. So let's see what we can do. The ribbon has an event called item click, and we can do something here. So we have the RibbonBar item event arcs, and the event arcs have the item, and this item of course has a name. So first we check if e.item is not null, and if so, we can switch button white. We need the same for green and red. Green and red. So what can we do here? We have to launch the according windows. So what we do is new. The one we want is the white window. We create this, but it has to be a child. So we set the MDI parent to this, and then we show the window. So let's see if this works. we have the ribbon bar with the buttons and the white window appears. So that works, and we also will have the ability to close. Very nice. So we have to do the same for the other colors. So we use the green one and the red one. Let's see if this one works. And there's our ribbon bar. We have the white one, the green one, and the red one. So that's very nice already. So what we need now is when we click on these buttons and we have the child windows open, we want to do something like, for example, edit new data, edit existing data, delete data. So we need a few more buttons here. First of all, we need the new button. The new button gets an image. There's a new there. Then the edit button, which is this one, and the delete button. Delete. Let's use this one. That looks nice already. We have to give names to these so we can identify them. Where is it there? This was the new button, button new, button edit, and button delete. You may want to add more buttons like these. That is completely up to you. See my video about the ribbon bar. I will put the link in the description below. Okay, so what I also want is I want a divider, which is called a separator, and this one is best suited for this position. Okay, so now I see new, edit, and delete. I have to add them in the event handler, so I go back to the code. And button new, edit, and delete. Do nothing at the moment. So we have to decide what do we do with these. These buttons have different meanings depending on which of the child windows is currently open. So actually these buttons have to send a command to the currently activated child window. So I'm going to the child window class, and here I will add two virtual methods that can be called by the main window. So I have prepared them already. Okay, edit, copy and paste, always a good thing. Virtual, so they have to be overridden. In the main window we have the buttons. These buttons are clicked and should send a command to the child window that is currently activated in form of execute command, and the child window can do whatever is necessary. In order to know if the child window is able to handle this command anyway, the main window can interrogate the child window and see if execution is allowed. These two methods have to be overridden in each of the child windows. Okay, let's go back to the main window, and right here we have to do a few things. See what is the active MDI child, and then pass the command to this child. First of all, we check if the active MDI child is null or not. So if active MDI child is not null, what we do then? We have to do something with the active MDI child, but the active MDI child is a form. child window is derived from form. We always can be certain that it is that way, so we simply cast it child window dot execute. Execute command. And which is the command? And it's a string. What we can do here is we can use the button e.item.name. At the moment, nothing happens when we click the buttons because we do have the active MDI children, but the execute command is still routed to the child window. So we have to override. Let's start with the red window. The red window in the code, we will override the necessary methods. Execute command is the first one, and the second one is can execute command. Okay, so execute command can now see what is the command itself and do the appropriate action. We do this using a switch command. And if the command is button, new is okay. Button new, then we can do something like, what can we do? Alert box. Show. I received command. Okay. And the default, it should usually be base.execute command. Okay, that's already everything that we have to do for the execution. And right here, we can do something similar. Remember, this method is being called by the main window when the button wants to know if it can be executed or not. And right here, we have to return true. Every other option should return the base. Okay. And now when we run the code, we open the three windows. First one shouldn't do anything. Green one shouldn't do anything, but the red one should. And we see on the bottom right, received command button new. So this is working already, but still all the buttons are enabled. I don't want that. I want them to be enabled only when the child window says it can be enabled. So what do we do for this? First of all, we need an event handler, application.idle equals okay, the idle event is fired every time when the Windows message queue is empty. So it is not constantly fired like a timer. Only if Windows does nothing, so to say, the application idle event is fired. This is pretty handy if you want to enable or disable buttons. So we have to add some functionality here to enable or disable the buttons. Enable button, which one? The button menu. We also have to do this for edit and delete. Let's implement the function. Okay, so button, call this button dot enabled equals. First of all, there has to be an active MDI child. Active MDI child is not null. Because if the active MDI child is null, there is no open window inside the main window. Okay, and the active MDI child being a child window let's call can execute command button.name. Okay, so what this does is enables the button only if there is an active MDI child. This active MDI child window is a child window, and the can execute command has returned true. Okay, now let's go. Let's open the three windows again. So I activated the white child, and none of these is active. Same goes for the green one, but the red window, I cannot click here, but I can click new, and this is shown. When I go back to the other windows, the enabled state of the button is switched every time. So that works wonderfully already. What we're going to do now is go back to the main window, close this. Okay. So what we're going to do now is where we need some code to open the windows, because on the RibbonBar that's basically the wrong place where to put buttons and open windows. Usually in former times, like with Outlook or applications like that, there is a tree view on the left side that contains all the modules of the application which you can activate, and on the right side there's the MDI stuff. So let's drop a tree view there. The tree view has to be docked on the left. I call this one a nav tree. Okay, and now let's see. There's the tree view, and the child windows are opened in the free area that is not occupied by the tree view. So that looks wonderful. Now we have to fill the tree view with life. In order to do that, we have to load the items that go into this tree. Let's say load tree is the name. Implement that one. So what do we do in that tree? We have to add nodes. Add a node. This node should need the information what is the parent, because trees can have children. Tree items can have children. So what we're doing is we're passing navtree nodes, which is a node collection of the tree. We also need a name for this node, like let's say red window, and the image, we need an image key. For this we have to add the image list. Edit the items. We need 3 in total. The first one is the white, which is called white. The green one has the name green, and the red one has, as you might have guessed, the name red. So these are the so-called image keys. And now when I go back to the code, I can use the image key right here, the red window. And of course, we need the method itself. We also need the ones for green and white. Green. Okay, so in the add node, we need a new node. New tree node. And the text is v1 is a bad name. Let's call this one text and this one image key. Text equals text. The image key is image key. The opened image key is also image key, and the selected image key is image key. Okay, so we created a node now with a passed text and an image. We also have to add this node to the collection of nodes. Add. Okay. So this should work already. In the main window load event, we load the tree items. We have the add node. Now let's see. There we are. But the images seem to be wrong. So let's go back to there. Tree view. And set the image list to the tree. Oh, I forgot. I already had a tree image list there. Okay, but that's not a problem. We used the tree images, so let's remove this one. Now try again. And there we go. Now something has to do when we click on the items. For this we need an event. Let's say we use the double click event. And in here, I don't want to repeat everything, and this video is already pretty long. So on double click, you have to do some kind of action like open child window. The video is already pretty long, so let's wrap it up. Now, what we did in this video is we added the RibbonBar using the references and the NuGet packet manager. The RibbonBar is now a reference, and then if it's a reference, it shows up in the WiseJ3 extensions toolbox. We also put the tree view in here, and in the code, what we did was we enable the buttons by taking advantage of the application.idle event, and we added an item click handler to the ribbon that performs some actions, and some of the actions ask the active MDI child window if they can execute command. If they can, they call the derived execute command functions. We also load the tree view with some items, and that's basically it. This seems to be a very good skeleton for future applications when you're starting a new application. The ribbons are still state of the art. You can use them. The tree view on the left is also well known from Outlook, so this should work pretty well to enable you writing nice applications that run in the browser. And that's all I want to show you today. I hope you enjoyed my demonstration of the capabilities of VoiceJ, and see you next time. Bye bye.